Sag Nasty.
All right. I can't believe it. We're here for another perspective of Sag Nasty, if anybody asks me. We're all looking to the same thing, but perspective matters. Where you stand in relation to the subject matters. Your disposition matters. This individual was born and raised in Saginaw. He went on to graduate first from Grand Valley, and then he received his master's degree from Western Michigan, the same place where he serves now as Director of Student Affairs for, I don't know, who knows how long. I can't believe I'm getting blessed with this rare opportunity. I get to see a part of my life through someone else's eyes. I can't wait to learn what life from a different angle was actually like. It's the interview some of you familiar with the podcast have been waiting for. Ladies, gentlemen, and anyone else in between, let me introduce to you my own flesh and blood, my brother, Chris Sly. Hello.
Hey, how's it going? Good to
All
see you.
right.
Thanks
Yeah.
for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. Yeah, people have been asking for a while for you to come on, so I'm super excited to have this opportunity. So usually I start the podcast off with first meetings, but since we're brothers, I want to kind of skip past that because we're very familiar with each other. So I want to just really kind of get to you. Forgive me if the questions are a little too selfish. So as we both know, our parents are from Detroit, but you were conceived in St. Louis, but you were born in Saginaw. I was born in, what?
I was born in Detroit.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Because I have no idea where you were born. So you were conceived in St. Louis, and so you were born in Detroit. There we go.
That is right.
Because I was like, you weren't born in Saginaw General. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so what do you know? Like, what hospital in Detroit? That's so cool.
I don't remember the hospital.
Wow.
I don't have any memories.
No stories about that.
As a kid or anything like that. But you were correct in that. Conceived in St. Louis. Dad was working for, I believe, Sears, and so then he was transferred to Saginaw, and that's kind of how we migrated up there to Saginaw. But yeah, I always, even now when I introduce myself to folks, I say I was born in Detroit, raised in Saginaw.
That's awesome.
There's two very distinct situations, and not having family in Saginaw now currently, and then having lived in Kalamazoo where I live now longer than I've been in Saginaw. So I have fond memories of Saginaw, but I really make that distinction that born in Detroit, raised in Saginaw. And
that is so awesome, because that really connects you back to our parents even closer than me, who I was born in Saginaw, is that our parents are both from Detroit. And I was like, how come I don't know where he was born? Like, I don't remember where he was born. I was like, I know he wasn't born at Saginaw General. And that was the first question. Where were you born? You're born in Detroit. That is awesome. So Detroit is special in our family. Reflect on that a little bit, what Detroit means to our family from your perspective.
Yeah, we would spend our summers with our grandmother, and so really, and then each holiday, we were taking that 2-hour drive down 75, and you saw a lot of different things as a lot of socioeconomic perspectives. You can kind of see that even as you leave Saginaw, go out into the country a little bit, you catch a couple urban city, influences of Flint, and then you get out to like Holly and you're halfway there, and then you get into Metro Detroit. Like, you see a whole spectrum, and so Detroit just always felt like home. For the holidays with family, just all the laughing and not really crazy arguments, but there was a lot of roasting that was going on, and you could tell sometimes feelings would get stepped on just a little bit, but it was all love. And so um, Grandma was really the matriarch because our grandfather passed in I believe it was 1986, and
Okay.
so I know it's not about me, but do you have memories of Big D or Grandpa?
That's funny. I'm glad you asked that question because it's actually connected to you. So
Uh,
overall, I just remember being intimidated by him because he had like a very like strong laugh. He's very dark black compared to the rest of the family because grandma's side is super light. And so we're a lot lighter than him. So he was by far the darkest person in the room, got this gray hair, and he's just old, you know. But the one memory I have of him is that he was a fisherman and he would take you fishing. Do you remember going fishing with grandpa?
I do. I have one memory of going fishing with Grandpa. There is a famous picture of me holding a fish that I caught. I don't remember catching that fish that day, but I do remember going on one occasion going fishing with him. He had a hunting, or they had a hunting dog. The name of the dog escapes me right now, but yeah, he was definitely this very big presence. I think he's 6'5".
Oh,
His
wow.
name, he shares, their old as well, but they called him Big D. He's just this tall guy. He served in the armed services. Just very much a man's man, and so
Yeah, super outdoorsman.
yeah, so very
Hmm.
gruff, but he was very uh, tender-hearted. Like he was very caring. Very. I always had great experiences with him. He taught me how to play chess, and so that I
Oh, I
definitely
forgot
remember.
about that. Yes, that's true. Yeah, I
Yep.
remember that.
So
He used to play
our
with
dad,
dad.
yes, yep.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
they would play, and Dad would teach me some further strategies. But yeah, I give that attribute to to Grandpa for being able to teach me how to
And
play
see,
chess.
that's the
But
beginning of perspective already, is that because we're almost 6 years apart, your experience with grandpa is much different. So the day that you were going fishing with him, it might have been the only day. I felt like I remember two times. One time I just simply wasn't allowed. And the second time, grandpa was like, okay, you can go. And so he said, go back into the backyard and like get in the truck or whatever he was driving, get in the car. And I was like, I can't go back there. Do you remember why?
because of that dog next door, right?
Yeah,
Was so crazy.
yes.
That dog was
Star.
Star. Star
Star.
was
It was a
nuts.
German
Yeah,
Shepherd mix, and he
yeah,
was
yeah,
so insane. And
yeah.
he was
That
so
dog was
tall that
nuts.
you knew he could get over the fence. He would just lean over and just scream in your face. And I
His
would,
top paws would give a fit. Yeah.
you're
Go
right. He
ahead.
would
Go
just,
ahead.
yeah, his eyes were just bloodshot red. And he was so scary because grandma told me the kids used to throw rocks at Star. And so grandma would feed him scraps. And so he would never bark at, maybe her actually, would never bark at grandma. And so I could not make it. And I did make it, but I was just crying so badly and I was shivering in fear. Star is like 3 inches away from me, just barking and like slobber is hitting me. And grandpa, this was so cruel. He said, yeah, you made it, but because you were crying and you didn't like do it like a man, you're not going still. And I was just
Wow.
heartbroken. And he
Wow.
literally
Wow.
drove off with you. And I never got to go fishing with them because later around, by the next time we went back, he has cancer and soon he dies. So I was so sad. I was so sad.
Wow.
So that's my specific memory of grandpa, but overall I remember it just like you said, like very gruff, very kind. He had like a very beautiful laugh. You could tell he had a lot of personality, but he commanded respect. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, that's neat. The dog that we had, I remember now. The dog's name was Junior. I do
Yep.
remember that. And
Yep, that's
then
true.
I got to give a shout out to that photo that's in the dining room, where it looks
Okay.
just like Grandpa. And there's a little
Yeah.
kid on his lap, and we
I always
used
thought
to
it was
argue.
me.
You're right, and I used to think it was me. We used to
Oh,
argue
I
over
didn't
who
know
it was.
that.
Yeah, yeah, we used to. Yeah, so that's neat. Yeah, we both thought it was each other, but it was neither of
Wow.
us. It was neither of us. So
Yeah, but do you know that that painting was actually drawn by our relative, I believe?
Oh, see, I don't know the backstory on that.
Yeah,
No, I don't.
yeah. I don't know this relative well. We'll have to ask grandma, but one of our definitely the one by the front door in grandma's house is by our
Yep.
relative, and I think
Yes,
that one
yes, I do
might
know that
be.
one.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So maybe
there's
maybe
one in the
not, but
hallway.
yeah.
There's one in the hallway by the bathroom that yeah,